It's Tracey and Noelle. They're gonna make you LOL on 90 Day Fiancé Trash Talk.
Hello and welcome to 90 Day Fiancé Trash Talk. I'm your host, comedian Tracey Carnazzo, joined by my lovely, beautiful, amazing, hilarious co-host, comedian Noelle Herzog.
Hi, hello.
Hi, this is episode 227, before the 90 Days, season 6, episode 2. We're just getting to know everyone.
We still have so many people to meet.
You know who I wish I never met?
Who?
Jasmine.
Mm-hmm. Me too.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, there are things that are happening here that I'm very upset about.
Do you think that we should talk about this in therapy? Like maybe I could have like specific trauma therapy for everything she says.
Yes. So the part we're not gonna talk about it now, obviously,
Yeah.
but just that specific part, I muted it because I'm like, I know what's gonna happen here. I can't. I'm gonna get upset if I hear her say the words out loud.
Okay.
And Matt was reading the subtitles, and I'm like, shut up.
You're like, that's why I muted it. Please.
Right. That's the point.
Imagine you put that in your divorce paperwork.
Right. He told me what Jasmine was saying about her butt.
Yeah.
Yuck.
Okay. So if you guys want more of us, go to patreon.com/trash talk podcast, where we talk all about everything. And also we have a really special new project that we've been working on, and we want to share it with you. And I think you're going to love it. And I'm just so pumped about it.
I think you're going to be so pumped about it.
Because it's called So Pumped, a Vanderpump Rules podcast. And it's right there on Patreon at the super duper trash talker level and above. And we are recapping Vanderpump Rules from season 1, episode 1. I just started it. Noelle has seen every single episode 400 times.
Yes.
I am taking a first look, and Noelle's teaching me all about it via the podcast. So make sure you join at patreon.com/trash talk podcast. And everything is right down there in the show notes. So just click and join. And there's just like a lot of stuff. There's also billions and billions, I'm not exaggerating, of bonus content.
I mean, so I was looking the other day. I don't remember what it was, for something on our bonus podcast, and I was like 400 podcasts in as I'm scrolling, and I'm like, this is crazy.
Yeah, this is insane. The amount of content that we give you guys is insane. We should be in prison.
But yes, we should be in prison for giving you so much Vanderpump Rules.
So go over there and do that. All right. So let's jump into Before the 90 Days, season 6, episode 2. So far, the only returning couple is Gino and Jasmine. And this is something that I think I might even petition to TLC and be like, hey, can we not?
Yeah. Why is this the couple they brought back?
Why does this
love them?
It's just she grosses me out.
Well, so that's what it is. She grosses me out. I feel like, I don't know, she's like a predator. I feel like she's bullying this poor guy. Like, I don't know. I'm just not into watching this. I will say, I just want to say something real quick. I'm watching this episode yesterday. I don't like a lot of what I'm seeing here. I feel like TLC just keeps picking these people.
Yeah,
that
are like
there's something wrong. Yes. And it's like, I don't like this. I don't get enjoyment out of seeing bad things happen to like simple people. Right. So I think that TLC is kind of like scraping the barrel here. And I don't love that. I don't mind watching an Elizabeth and Andre, you know, like can I see a regular couple? There doesn't have to be something wrong with everyone.
Right. Yeah. People that maybe control their own bank account.
Right. Exactly. Yes.
I get it. All right. So Gino goes to his cousin's house, and he's making pasta.
Well, it's Uncle Marco, right? They're having it in his apartment complex common room, and I'm like, what does this mean exactly?
Okay, so this is like if you live in a nicer building, they usually have it's a common room. It's
I know, but there was a kitchen in this common
kitchen
room. Okay, I didn't know that was something.
So like you could rent it out for like a birthday party.
Interesting.
Or you could just like go and hang out. Yeah. So this is like they probably have a small place, and then you go into the common room.
Yeah, his family is very nice.
Very nice. So what is this pasta?
Okay, so it's like we're making. First of all, he called them noodles.
Noodles.
Like, what Italian man?
No one
calls pasta noodles, and he's just. They're all different sizes. So it's like, so we have linguine, and then we have fettuccine. Like, I mean,
we're just
happening?
cutting. We're just cutting Willy and
we're willy-nillying it.
Yeah. So they're also using bottled dressing.
Oh, see, that I didn't notice.
Yeah, he's like, you want some dressing? And they're like passing like a wishbone.
Like a
bottle.
wishbone.
Also,
that stuff
he's
will
like,
hurt your tummy.
He's like, you ever put ricotta cheese on your pasta?
Okay, so that was another thing. And I'm like, Uncle Marco, Gino comes from this big Italian family, and you're saying ricotta cheese?
Ricotta. It's a
ricotta.
It's a goat ricotta.
Okay. Alex Guarnaschelli says ricotta cheese.
Yeah, there's something
Alex
wrong with her too.
Guarnaschelli says ricotta cheese.
Listen, this is she's trying to appeal to the masses.
Yeah, well, guess what? I don't want to be part of that mass.
I don't either.
So
we are the Giadas of the Food Network.
Yeah. Yes,
ricotta.
Ricotta. Yeah.
So his cousin asks how it's going, and Gino goes, "Yeah, it's good."
You repeat that because your voice was gone.
Okay, I don't know why I have to change the settings on my. So his voice goes up so high when he
has such an octave.
Yeah, but there's a thing about answering a question, and when you're lying, your voice goes up.
Mm-hmm. I tell Matt that all the time. Anytime he has a high voice, I'm like, "You're lying."
Ask me a question.
How are you today?
Yeah, I'm doing really good. I'm good. I feel strong and confident in my life, and I think my career is going well.
Yeah, me. I have so much money. That's so funny.
Yeah.
No, you're right though.
All right, ask me another question.
Okay. What kind of question am I supposed to ask you?
Mm-hmm.
Like, am I supposed to ask you something where you would answer like a yes or no, or does it have to be like,
ask me a question.
What are you doing today?
Okay, well, thank you for asking me that question. I have a show tonight. You see how I did not?
Yeah. Okay.
You see that?
Yeah. Right.
Thank you.
But instead, it's like, Tracey. Never mind. We're not going to do this here.
Everything's fine. Everything is fine. So he goes, yeah, it's going good. It's going really good. It's going good.
He's terrified of her.
Yes. So they ask about her new apartment. They're like, are you paying for that? And he's like, what? I can't hear you.
Very scripted though. Come on.
Very scripted. So he's like, yeah, I help her out. What?
Also, what I was thinking is her apartment, right? Remember last episode they said it was like $3,000 a month.
Yeah. So
you don't have to pay like a down payment and a security deposit on this type of apartment too, do you?
Okay, I don't think so. I think it's just it's some kind of short-term furnished rental.
Like it's fully furnished and everything, right?
So I think it's more like, kind of like
because I'm like, this guy put out $9,000 for her to be there for 1 month. That's
who knows. So his family wants him to get a prenup, and he's like, yeah, I don't know. So Jasmine's meeting with friends, and she said that she has a lack of sex. So they got her some butt plugs. Noelle, are you okay? Do I have to call 911? Do you need the EMTs?
Please call 911. I actually don't feel good. Why is she acting like this season? Like sex craze.
Okay, so I think that some of it's for like so that she gets attention on the show.
Yeah.
Like to be like the raunchy crazy one so that she gets like rebooked on the show.
Yeah, but it's almost like, how like guys are creepy? Like she's acting creepy.
Correct. She said these butt plugs are what?
I'm gonna faint thinking about them.
Oh, I just got really scared.
No, I'm like
Okay. So they are, quote, so we can prepare my ASS.
I hate this so much. I know, no offense to anybody that likes this, and you can like it. I don't like hearing about it. I don't want to think about Jasmine and Gino doing these things.
We have another quote.
Okay, just do it.
Quote, I know that the ass can grow. She said she's willing to do anything.
But so that's the thing. Why is she acting like this? What is this?
She can't take that. She thinks that he's not attracted to her.
I think that he's not attracted to her because she like, I don't know, I guess like forces him into like, I want sex. It's like, I think he likes you. I think that you're really attractive. I'm sure that he wants to be with you. How about stop bullying him about it?
No.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just like, it's a weird thing. But then again, we also don't know what goes on behind closed doors. So really, who knows?
Right. But then, I mean, if someone really doesn't want you that much, then just maybe don't be with them.
Yes, but also you don't have to like be like, oh, show me your nipples to Gino and like stuff like that. It's like, what are you doing to this guy?
It's really gross.
Yeah.
If this was a man doing this.
Right. Yes.
We would.
So that's the thing. I'm like, if this was a guy, I wouldn't want to watch the show.
Right. Well, I also don't want to watch the show.
Same.
So she doesn't get along with his family, and his cousin had messaged her on Facebook, his cousin Dana, and she was like, "Do you really love my cousin?"
Do you think that Jasmine really loves Gino? What
do
you think?
Okay, so I think that Jasmine has such a big ego.
Okay.
That maybe it didn't start off like that, but now she's obsessed with getting him to like her.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. That makes sense.
Does she love him deep down inside? Like, does she want to take care of him when he's sick? No.
That's the thing I can't figure out. It's like, why are you so obsessed with this guy? Like, what's happening here?
I don't know.
Yeah.
So she wants him to write everything in his will so that in case he dies, especially before they get married, she will get everything because she's leaving her beautiful country for him.
In case he quote unquote
dies before the wedding.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Why would that happen, Jasmine?
Jasmine, do you want to?
Are you planning something? Like, that's wild too. He has to leave her every single thing? He doesn't have a niece or a nephew?
Okay, but also, what does this guy have?
I definitely think he had but I think that he's like the guy that hoards money, but like eats everything from the dollar store, you know?
Yeah, well, I mean, you remember the TV dinners that he was obsessed with?
Yeah, uh-huh.
Well, he's going to Panama and his uncle wants him to stand up for himself. And Uncle Marco makes me laugh. He's like, she comes over there bouncing her boobs and it's like all confused.
He's not wrong. It's how most guys are.
I know, but Gino's also like really scared and he's like, I'm so happy.
That's the thing. I don't think he's having a good time.
What? No, they always do this. This is always what happens in a relationship. If you ever want to get married, they do always hate your family and they always do torture you.
I have butterflies. This is called butterflies.
Yeah, this is butterflies. Yeah. My doctor said that this is butterflies. They put me on 5 medications because my butterflies are making me bleed internally. It's just the wings are so big and sharp and scary. And there's so many of them.
There's just so many of them. Oh, Gino. Oh, Gino.
So Jasmine did not put on deodorant. She hops in a cab to pick him up from the airport and she is making out with him like crazy, just smearing this red smushy lipstick all over her. It's all over her. It's all over him. I mean, do you know about long wear lipstick?
But why choose this as your lip if you're planning on tonguing him down?
Because she wants everyone to know that he's hers. What do you think? He's going to get like trafficked at the airport?
Right. Like, what's going to happen to him?
Well, she said that if there were no children and families around at the airport, that the lipstick would also be on her, quote, favorite piece of meat on earth.
And he's like, oh, yeah, that sounds so fun.
Yeah, that's great. Okay, that's great.
She's forcing this so bad that it's freaking me out.
Correct.
Yeah.
I'm very uncomfortable.
That's the thing. I'm so uncomfortable. Imagine how Gino feels.
Exactly. All right. So moving on to Riley. He's going to Vietnam and he's going to go see his dad before he goes. And I love his dad.
I want him to be my dad. I am in love with him.
Yeah, I love him so much. So his dad almost died from COVID, but he pulled out of it.
Awesome.
And now he's making him some curry goat. He goes every Friday and he learns how to make it in Trinidad.
And he's like, I spent so much money on it. Yeah, but I really love my son.
He's like, I love him. I love him so much. How much is curry goat?
Okay, I don't know, but I want to tell you one bad thing that I noticed here, and it very much upset me.
Okay.
He has the longest thumbnail I've ever seen.
Interesting.
The dad. Just one long nail.
Do you think he hunts the goats with it?
I don't know. He does something bad with this. I don't know what he does with it, but I don't want to know what he does with it. It's bad.
Well,
yeah.
I don't want to know either. So his dad is very scared. He doesn't trust them, he says.
But what does he mean by that?
I don't know if he means the Vietnamese. I don't know if he means women. I don't know if he's not gendering this girl.
Right. Just them. Right. I don't trust them. That's why I'm like, what does he mean exactly?
Well, she sent his father rage texts.
Could you imagine? Imagine I did that to my father-in-law.
I think you should do it. Okay. Would this be a fun game to play?
Tell me.
Do it to your father-in-law and see what happens.
Okay. Truthfully, one time I did it to my mother-in-law.
And what happened?
A long time ago. She just answered me like 4 hours later, like, oh, so sorry to hear this. Like, and she just never brought it up again. But this was like, I don't know, 7 years ago. This is a long time ago. But like, I like flipped out and texted my mother-in-law. And I was like, I probably shouldn't do that either. That makes me just as crazy.
Okay. But also,
yeah.
That was your mother-in-law. That was someone like you.
Yeah.
This was like right before you got married, I guess, because it was, you said it was 7 years ago.
Yeah.
You guys have already been together for a long time.
Yeah.
They know you in person.
Well, that's what I was going to say. We know each other in person. Right.
Why do you have his dad's phone number?
That's the weird part. I guess because when he had COVID, he was sick. She would text him like, I guess, feel better or right.
All right. So he's very annoyed.
Yeah. I mean, I don't blame him, but also it's not his poor dad's fault.
No. So he's having a home cigar.
Yeah, this guy loves his cigars in his house.
Inside of that house must smell.
I can't imagine.
That house must smell like he lives alone.
Yes. It must smell like a bachelor.
Yeah.
I can't imagine.
It must smell like he's alone and
I hope his dog is like outside for this.
I know. His dog's probably like, I'm going to sleep outside if you keep doing this. Can you just and then imagine he builds him a doghouse and then he goes in the doghouse and smokes cigars.
I thought you wanted some company.
He's like, you want to play poker? You're a dog.
You ever seen that famous picture?
Let's recreate it.
Yuck. Inside cigar. Yuck.
Inside cigar. So he has a video call with a private eye in Vietnam. And he's like, okay, so I need to know if she's divorced. I need to know if she's on the dating apps. I want you to follow her in the car. And he goes, how many women are lying?
80%.
Okay, but
think
about it like this. These are 80% of women that have been had a private investigator hired on them.
Oh, right. Okay. Well, that makes sense.
He's not following every woman in the world.
Yeah. Okay. That actually, now that you say it like that, it makes a lot more sense.
Yeah. Of course. These are like women that are doing something suspicious. Suspicious enough for someone to hire a private investigator.
Remember, don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious on TikTok.
Don't be suspicious. Speaking of suspicious, we see Tyray again, and they're in the middle of telling him again. They're like, listen, it's a dude. His name is Christian. And he looks him in the eyes and he goes, did he say he still wants to be with me? I mean, he doesn't, but he doesn't know.
No, he didn't not say that, though. He's so upset. I do feel bad for him.
He needs a break. He said that he knows about computers and he watched Catfish.
No, you didn't.
You watched Catfish and said, wow, that's so weird.
Right.
I don't think that any of these people lied.
Right. Like you watched Catfish and didn't get it.
He said he was only sending a little bit of money. He didn't send money in 2019. So she ignored him until he sent money in 2020.
That's not a red flag?
Nope. He said that he sent $50 to $100 a month. And she's always asking for more. So now
that's a lot of money, especially because he's not working.
He's binge drinking hard cider at his kitchen table.
Oh, this poor guy.
And by binge drinking, I mean he had 2.
I know. For me, that's binge drinking.
In a row.
Yeah. I'd be hammered at this point.
I mean, I would be on a stretcher.
Yeah.
That's
true. Tracy would be panicking.
I'd be dead.
Yeah, you would not be well. I mean, you had a half a glass of wine at my wedding brunch. You were drunk.
That was not good. Times were really tough.
Oh,
First of all, it wasn't even... It's because you had a stupid champagne bar with strawberries. So I was like, oh, I'll take some strawberries in a cup. And then they put a splash of champagne in it. I was like, that's not really a thing.
Right. Yeah.
Yada, yada, yada. Goodbye forever.
Yeah.
Yada, yada, yada. I joined the circus.
Do you like champagne, right? Because
I like the taste of wine.
I thought so. Right.
I do.
Yeah.
I like the taste of wine. I like dry wine. I like sweet wine. I can't drink it.
Yeah. But I will cook with it.
I like to cook with it. If sometimes I'll take the tiniest sip of it, like stick my tongue in it.
And
that's it.
Yeah. Tracy likes sour things. You like sour things, dry things, that kind of stuff. You do. You love acidic.
I like a good acid.
Good for you.
Battery.
Oh yeah, battery. It's your hyaluronic.
I do like hyaluronic.
Me too.
So he said this. He's texting her and he said, "Babe, how could you? They told me you were a man."
He said, "Babe," still. Babe,
which proves that he doesn't
care.
He doesn't care or believe. So he's saying that she might be real and she was hacked, and he's not ready to walk away. Okay, then be with the guy.
Well, so that's the thing. And I think that if he was more forthcoming and he was just like, hey, even if this is a guy, I have such a strong connection with this person, it doesn't really matter to me.
Right.
I'd be like,
I still want to
okay,
marry them.
sure, okay.
Right. I think that this should be a married at first sight kind of thing.
Now that would be good.
I
would
think
like
that catfish married at first sight.
Oh, like a collabo?
Uh-huh.
Okay, that would be fun.
What if they did that?
Call Neve.
It's like 50% of the time.
Yeah,
more than 50.
That's true.
It's not going to be the guy, but you're like, whatever, you already talked, so.
Right, whatever. You know what? It doesn't matter. We have a connection.
He's combing his beard. I guess it was very tangly.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, come on, guy.
And they're like, do you want to talk about this? He's like, I can't. My mom's home. I'll be so grounded.
That's so funny. He's like, I can't talk because my mom is here.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go for a walk.
He goes for a walk, and he said that he does think that she's still real, and he's going to tell his siblings. So they go to Mocha Magic.
Uh-huh.
Which is clearly paying to be in this.
Yeah, for sure. It's like you show us the whole full sign of this place.
And then they go, this place is great.
Mm-hmm.
So Ronald and Lashante come, and his sister said that he's very secretive.
She's so pretty.
She's very pretty.
Mm-hmm.
He sits down and he tells them, quote, I am in an international relationship.
What the hell is that?
Austin Powers.
I am in an international relationship.
No.
I'm like, what? That's not what you're in.
But why didn't you just sit down and say, I've been sending a dude money?
Right. Well, because he doesn't think that's what's happening.
Right. So his sister's like, oh, I thought you were asexual.
Okay. I mean, that was funny.
That was too. But also we find out that last year he went to Barbados for 5 days to meet her. He had a quarantine for 3 days. She was supposed to show up on the 4th day. She didn't show up. And not only didn't she show up, she just ghosted him. She wouldn't even answer his texts. And he said it was because of COVID. What does that mean?
I like that he didn't, like, she was nervous about COVID, I guess, but he had quarantined. But I like that he didn't tell us that when we first met him.
Right? He said that he doesn't know what to do next. So he said that he'll listen to the conversation that the producers had. And then as soon as he hears it, he walks away. He can't deal with it.
Within the first 3 seconds. Right.
And they're like, hello?
Right.
He doesn't know what to do next.
There's nothing to do next. Like, move on with your life, I think, is the best thing.
What do you mean you don't know what to do next? He's like, am I in a relationship with this guy now?
Well, because I guess he still doesn't believe it. Well, quote unquote, still doesn't believe it.
All right, then meet the guy.
Yeah. That's what I mean. Just go meet the guy.
Meet the guy.
Maybe you guys will fall in love. Good. Do it.
Fall in love with the guy. Meet the guy.
Fall in love with the guy. Meet the guy.
Meet the guy. You already paid him $100 a month.
You know what? That's true.
Get your money's worth.
Get your money's worth. Have a fun rendezvous in Barbados.
Yeah.
And then come home.
Kiss the man.
Focus on mom.
It's Pride Month.
That's Tracy's favorite.
Make him some fish bones.
Oh my God. Tracy, when I read the description of last week's podcast, when you said that he fed his mother fish bones, I LOL'd.
He's like, Mom, funny. I love you so much. I made you something special only for you.
So funny.
He's like, you're going to eat this part of the fish and I'm going to eat this part of the fish. All right.
Okay.
Let's talk about your favorite, Amanda.
That's your favorite. That's your favorite.
So she has a layover in Paris and she's going to Romania. And she said that God gave her this chance. Well, and I got to tell you, I know this sounds crazy, but I actually agree with her because God has done a lot for me on TikTok as well.
God has changed your life on TikTok.
God gives me the best algorithm. I don't know if it's God, but it's something.
Someone, and whoever did it did the same for her.
Yeah.
Yuck.
So she said that she never thought she would find love again.
Never thought.
When?
You did it within 2 weeks.
When was that thought? The first day your husband died?
Right. When was
As your husband was taking his last breath, you were like, I don't think I'm... Oh, never mind.
People speculated that she was talking to him while her husband was like dying. Because of the timelines. I mean, listen, whatever.
Gotta move on.
Like I said, everybody grieves in their own way, but the problem is she's not grieving. That's the problem.
She's not. So 24 hours before, we see him self-taping, taking off his shirt in a park.
I just know this guy, and I just don't like him.
He wants to be a movie star. He said that the most money he ever made on a live stream was $2,000.
He wants to be a movie star like Van Damme. Now that made me laugh.
It doesn't make me laugh. It makes me see that this is a very real. He's accomplishing his goals very carefully.
Of course he is.
He's looking at people like Arnold Schwarzenegger, people that have immigrated to the United States.
Yes.
And moved on to become very successful there. So they've been dating for 4 months, and he's said that he's never dated an American or had a long distance relationship.
Okay.
So he meets up with Deanna, his friend, who's also an actress.
They hug, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then she strokes his abs. But he's like that they never did anything.
Here's the thing. They're not actually friends.
I don't know, man. This girl she rubbed his abs in a sexual way.
He knows who she is. She knows him. And he's like, do you want to be on this show? I need to get like a good looking woman because we have to create the storyline that Amanda's a jealous person.
Yes, but it's just the way that she approached him. It seemed as if she knew him in a way that was in a sexual way.
Maybe, but she doesn't know anything about his personal life.
Oh, sure.
So he's like, yeah, this girl Amanda, she's either gonna come here or I'll go there or whatever, like what?
What's so special about Amanda? She asks.
Because she doesn't know anything about her because she's never asked or heard about it. So 3 years ago, he was also married for 6 months. He got engaged in 1 month. He was married for 6 months and then they got divorced.
Come on.
Because he's an actor.
He's definitely an actor. He's very impulsive.
Right. So she doesn't know anything about Amanda. And he said that she's like, oh, are you ready to be a father to these children? He's like, no. I'm just going to be their friend.
Right. Like he's not looking to like settle down, have a wife, have a family. No way.
Yeah. He's like, listen, I am going to go there. I'm going to be their friend. And then I'm going to get the maid pregnant and I'm going to deny the baby of the maid for years and years and years until it comes out in the tabloids. And then the baby looks just like me. And they're all like, wow, that baby really looks like him.
Well, until it comes out in therapy. That's where it came out.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it came out in therapy. Because his wife was like, hello, she asked the therapist to ask him if that was her kid because she's like, they just look so much alike. And then he was like, yeah, I guess. That's so crazy. Could you imagine she continued to work for him for all those years? That's crazy. While she has a mini clone of his.
I mean, honestly, you got a kid now? You got to quit?
I know. I just feel like that's so crazy. I wouldn't bring my kid around that if I wanted it to be a secret.
I mean, I want him to spend time with his dad.
Yeah, I don't know. That's so
unbeknownst
weird.
to him.
Yeah, seriously.
It's like a little bit of a reverse Mrs. Doubtfire situation.
I love Mrs. Doubtfire.
Very similar. So, here's the thing. So she thinks that Amanda will break his heart, and it's like,
okay.
I don't know, man. So he said that he's so nervous. She's coming today. And they meet in the airport and they hug. And he brings her a teddy bear. She hates it.
She hates it. She hates him. She's clearly uncomfortable.
Very, very
I think she liked the idea of him. And then when it became real, she was so scared.
Right. So they're kissing and she seems really annoyed.
Yeah. And then he like tries to tongue her down. And she's like, you don't put your tongue in my mouth.
Right. But it's like, oh, that's not what we talked about.
That's not what we talked about. You showed me privates.
Did she?
No, I'm just assuming. I mean, they get it back together. They break up. They do all this stuff. They've definitely shown privates.
So he wants her to move there.
Right. But doesn't he want to move to America?
But he's also just ignoring the fact that she has children.
I know. So is she.
So he lives in a filming studio. He lives in a studio.
Yes.
That's nice. And she's mad because he has tissues by his bed.
Okay, but I found this so weird because I'm like, I have tissues next to my bed. Tracey has tissues next to her bed.
Next to my couch, next to my dining room table.
But that's what I mean. I have tissues next to my bed. What is she trying to say? That he like JOs and needs it? Yeah, it's weird.
So she FaceTimes her daughter. And what's with her son obsessed about the bedroom?
Do you think that that's fed to him?
Maybe.
Because I find it really weird. Like, why
this is the second time he's brought it up. He wants to see the bedroom. He wants to know where she's going to sleep. He asked her in the car where she's going to sleep.
Yeah, it's so weird to me.
And now she's fake emotional about the kids.
Please.
She said the trip is for her, but also for the kids because she's getting them a new dad.
Yeah. That's the thing. She's going there shopping for daddy.
Right.
Daddy
so now
shopping.
She takes a shower and she gets out of the shower and she's mad because he has his stuff on the sink.
And she like pushes something off of the sink.
She puts her brush. She's like, maybe I'll put my brush here. And then she's like, oh,
why is she like this?
Why didn't you do this before I got here? It's like, he has a really clean house. Stop.
But also, I have to say, like, he's really nice.
He's being nice
so far. Yeah.
She's mad that he's sleeping in his tighty whities.
I mean, he's sleeping in his tighty whities because we're on camera.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. It's like, okay, yes, we see you have 37 pack on your abs.
No one cares.
Nobody cares. I don't care.
I don't care.
Mm-mm.
All right, moving on to nothing good. Moving on to nothing good.
This makes me uncomfortable too.
Very uncomfortable. So this is David. He's 42 from Nebraska, and his friend is driving him to the airport, and he's very nervous.
Right.
And his friend's like, listen, if you need to leave, if things go wrong, I'll pick you up from the airport. And he goes, okay, focus on the road.
I know. It's like, was this cut?
So here's the thing. David's nasty.
He is nasty. Well, so that's the problem. I have trouble feeling bad for him because I feel like he's kind of nasty.
He's super nasty.
Yeah.
So he said that he's really upset because he can't hear the announcements in the airport. So he has to wait for a gate agent to approach him.
Noelle. But wouldn't you tell someone?
Why can't you use your phone?
So that's what I was wondering. Like, you can't use your phone or
type something and be like, hi, I'm going to sit here. Can you let me know when the...
Right.
He just has to hope that someone approaches him and says, sir, are you deaf?
Also, shame on me. I didn't know that sign language is different all around the world. I thought sign language was sign language.
It's ASL, American Sign Language.
Yeah, it's like I think of age, sex, location when I hear ASL, Very AOL of me.
He's like, do you know ASL? And you're like, yeah. 25, female, South Ozone Park.
Uh-huh. Or 14 female South Ozone Park.
Yeah, that's more like it. Great. The cops are coming.
Yeah. No, it's just like, I didn't realize that. And it's like, but she doesn't do sign language. She doesn't do ASL.
Right. So
how will they communicate?
I don't know. So he said that he spent more on tickets on this one ticket than he spent in 2 years of his life. Okay. David, live a little.
Yeah, I know, right?
Live a lottle.
Yeah. Live a lottle, David.
So the day before, we go to where does she even live? We don't know. There's no way to know.
What? She lives in the Philippines.
Okay. So we go to the Philippines and we meet. She has a 12-year-old son named Jamil, and he's very fun because he makes her smell his farts.
I think she's so cute.
She met her ex when she was 16 or 17, and she left him because he didn't support her and her son.
Right. And he was too young. He had no money. Right.
So she lives with her parents, and they've had damage from a fire and a typhoon. So they have limited electric, and they have an outside toilet that seems to be just in the middle of the action.
Yeah, I feel like bad for them. This is terrifying.
I know. I was thinking about it. Like, how much money do you think it would take, American dollars, it would take to like get them a place?
I wonder that. Right. Or just fix that. Right. Because they need a roof and stuff.
Yeah, this is terrible.
Yeah.
So they text a lot, and they show a text where he said that he'll give her chocolate for her tummy ache.
Yeah, X-Lax maybe.
And I'm like, is this the same chocolate that Noelle eats for her tummy ache?
I do. I eat chocolate for my tummy ache because Suzanne told me it changes the pH in your belly.
Yeah, it's Dove chocolate specifically.
Only Dove, because I don't do Hershey anymore. I'm off the Hershey.
I like how you really held on to those words.
Yeah, I'm off the Hershey. Oh yeah, I hold on to things that I need to hold on to.
All right, so she's hearing impaired because she stuck a whole broomstick in her ear. How big was this broomstick?
How big is your ear hole?
Did
you use Jasmine's butt plug in there?
The little one.
That's what I mean. Like, were you dilating? Like, what happened exactly?
What was going on? How did you get the broomstick in your ear hole?
In your ear hole.
What happened? What was your reasoning?
Yeah, I want to know more about this.
I have a lot of questions.
Me too.
She said she likes him because he makes her feel safe. Smiley face, tongue sticking out. Smiley face, tongue sticking out. Smiley face, tongue sticking out. Smiley face, tongue sticking out.
Wet. Ugh. Yuck.
So her dad wants him to pay for the house repairs. I do too.
Yeah, me too. He should.
She's okay. So she's an unemployed cotton candy sales lady.
It's like, so here's the thing, like, I'm laughing, but I know that this is what it's like in other parts of the world.
Right. But you know what it sounds like? It sounds like on HGTV, right? Where there's like a weird couple and they're like very eclectic, and they're like, our budget is $5 million for a 1-bedroom apartment.
And I'm an unemployed
cotton candy sales trainer.
Lady. Right. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's true.
All right, so she hangs out with her friends Salem and Mars.
I mean, her parents were named like Remedy and Simpatico or something like that. Like,
the names are wild.
There's interesting names around here.
All right, so they ask if she's seen him naked. And I think this is more upsetting than Jasmine.
I think it's on the same playing field here.
Okay, well, I'm going to read it.
Okay, I'm not going to faint this time.
Okay. Yes, it's yummy. It's so red. And then she goes on to say that he showed her his eggplant.
Well, like, what is he doing to it that it's this color?
I hope
his nose is very red too.
Oh boy. Well, they're planning on exchanging phones to see if they're cheating on each other.
But it sounds great. The makings of a great relationship here.
And it's very hard to communicate. Why are we not using our phones more?
And it's funny because there are so many other couples that like rely on their phones on this show, and I'm surprised that they're not using it.
Correct. That is correct.
Yeah.
So I'm just checking to see.
Okay. Well, next week.
Yeah. What happens? Please tell me.
We're going to meet a guy that's in Israel, and we're going to meet his girlfriend. They're both heavily into religion. They're both very religious. And he is like a 40-something-year-old virgin. He hasn't made out with a girl in 16 years.
Okay. Well, I know someone like that.
Me too. I can't wait to watch it in person.
I love it. All right, guys. We have our So Pumped, the Vanderpump Rules podcast on our Patreon, patreon.com/Trash Talk Podcast. If you want to follow this podcast and the show, 90 Day Podcast on Instagram and Twitter, Trash Talk Podcast on TikTok. Follow Noelle at Noe Girl on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. I'm at TraceyCarnazzo.com. That's where you'll find everything, including my social media at Trixie Tuzini. You can find all of my upcoming tour dates. I'm opening for Hannah Berner, formerly of Summer House. I have some dates in the summer in Jersey. I have some in West Hampton. So check that out. And as always, every week you'll see my stand-up comedy tour dates. Yeah, that's it.
I love you.
I love you. Bye.
Bye.